Sitting in the M90 Commerce Park at Lathalmond is the site of a 7,000-tonne hazardous 30-foot-high dump of festering carpet and plasterboard. The decaying mountain of waste is releasing landfill gas and is on the same site as the Scottish Vintage Bus Museum, as well as being surrounded by pristine countryside and thriving local businesses. To the east lies Lochore Meadows Country Park, a 4-star Scottish tourist board attraction, and to the south, Townhill Country Park. This blight on the picturesque local landscape was left by a company that specialised in recycling materials including carpets, plastics and plasterboard, until the business ceased trading in June 2012. The two company directors were sentenced in court, with the sheriff ordering both men to community payback orders, each with 150 hours of unpaid work. However, the eyesore remains rotting, creating an environmental health risk that could cost up to £1 million to clear up. It is still not clear who will pay the bill to remove this decomposing pile of carpets and plasterboard. Neither SEPA nor Fife Council are taking responsibility for restoring the site, and there is the possibility of further prosecution.
This is old carpets, plasterboard, and it runs right through, piled up right over the top of the factory there, through the factory, and is seeping into the environment. And SEPA tell us it's not a danger and there's not a lot they can do about it. So the fence is broken, it's easy to get access into this site, although you would be quite weary because people have reported seeing vermin come for this site. It's really appalling that this is just lying here in the middle of such a beautiful countryside. But it's worth noting what the Sheriff, Craig McSherry, said when he found the two people who had been responsible for this site guilty. He said that he acknowledged both men had been prevented by the authorities over recent years from doing anything to resolve this situation. So, who's taking responsibility here? But he went on to say, and I quote, "There has been considerable leakage into the environment and nobody seems to be bothered." I find that absolutely astonishing, is what he says. Well, I find it absolutely astonishing that nobody's bothered about this. They reckon it'll cost between £500,000 to £1 million to clean this mess up. But it's an environmental disaster. It sits in beautiful countryside. We have seen lots of beautiful developments happening around here, tourism attractions, cabins, fisheries. We have 2 country parks either side of this specific area, and yet nobody seems willing to do anything about this. It's not acceptable. That's why I'm raising it in Parliament. That's why I'm raising it in the Climate Change Environment Committee. That's why I'm raising it with the Cabinet Secretary for Climate Change and Environment. Something needs to be done about this. What is the right of the community to challenge SEPA? So if you take the Lathalmond case, where the conviction's now taking place, the mess is still there, SEPA won't clean up because it'll cost over £1 million, and they say it's safe enough. The judge was highly critical of SEPA in the case, but
not familiar with this case.
What's the right of the community to appeal where SEPA take a decision not to clear something up? What rights does communities have? Part of my message to the Cabinet Secretary and why I've wanted Fife Council to get involved more in terms of trying to address the issue up at Lathalmond, which is just along that road there, is that this whole area has been developing thanks to individual people being willing to invest. So I think this is an environmental disaster sitting here. You could hear a lot of pigeons inside. The idea that SEPA tell me there is no rodents here is just not true. And we're in this beautiful countryside where there's so much potential to develop this area for tourism, creating jobs, and nobody will do anything about this eyesore. It's not acceptable and we need action.